Hello everyone, TW here, and welcome to my stream of conscious style review of the 1996 earth-shattering classic known as Super Mario 64. I don't think this game needs any type of intro, as its reputation precedes it by dozens and dozens of miles, and I'm pretty sure that's still underselling it. If you aren't aware of what this game is all about, then allow me to get you right up to speed so we can all be on the same page. So, Princess Toadstool Peach invites Mario, Jumpman Mario, over for some cake, and by the time our favorite plumber arrives, everyone's been abducted, and it's up to Mr. Moustache to once again save the day. We accomplish this task by collecting Power Stars, which are hidden throughout Mario 64's various levels. Now, this isn't like Odyssey where there are stars littered throughout each area, but you can still go out of your way rather easily to collect them out of order. Some are locked behind specific mission selects, whereas others are out in the open for you to find. Some people really don't like this approach due to having to see this screen again and again and again, and you know what? I can understand that. The only defense I have is that this game was created around this mechanic for the most part. Later levels end up ditching it, making every star available from the start, but by then they already had it, so it'd be weird to only have this mission select for some levels, not others, and oh man, game design can be really messy, everyone. And on top of that, this was the first collectathon game ever made, as far as I'm aware, so obviously mistakes were going to be made. I mean, they kind of had to. Not even Aki got things 100% right with their initial 3D outing, and those people are legends. When it comes to the mission and level designs, they can be hit or miss. There's quite a few that involve just climbing a tall structure, which was quite common back then, as the mere thought of doing so was revolutionary. Playing it in 2023 can make some of them tedious, as some levels will have you climb the same area twice, with the ending being made slightly different. Revolutionary for 1996, but mid for 2023. I do have some personal favorites, like the slide levels for example. There are 3 of them, and they constantly increase in difficulty. I still remember first discovering the shortcut in the ice slide. Mind-blowing, would not even come close to describing it. Then again, I wasn't even 10 at the time, and once again, everything about Super Mario 64 was a big deal. Everything! That includes the Bowser fights. Nowadays, they're just a gigantic hassle. You have to get behind Bowser, grab his tail, spin him around via rotating the control stick, release him, and hope you aimed correctly at a bomb. The third and final fight was beyond annoying because of this, and I know some people had zero problems at all, but for whatever reason, I can't aim worth a damn while spinning Bowser. That wasn't the only annoyance in the game. Allow me to introduce to you the camera. I know this was the first N64 game ever, but especially with the Volcano Section, this thing was a nightmare. I'd actually say it was worse here than it ever was in Mystical Ninja, and that game was janky as fuck. Moving back to a more positive location, the soundtrack. I wish Nintendo weren't copyright dickbags, because the music here is good to be onwards and I'd love to play it for you. Like many others, I consider Dire Dire Docks to be this game's magnum opus, and I wish Nintendo would upload these songs in some sort of music service already. I just remember that I only had 50 stars at the end of this game, despite the player needing 70 or however much. How did I do it? Easy. Glitch City Jones, baby! And pulling it off is super easy. One might even say it was barely an inconvenience. All you have to do is jump forwards, immediately pull back, and mash the fuck out of the A button. If I can do it, then pretty certain that anyone can, really. That is, outside of dealing with disabilities, of course. Now, it should be noted that this game was made at a time before we knew what accessibility even was, but it's still a shame that it was never re-released with accessibility features in mind. And staying on the negativity express, choo-choo, my game crashed not once, but twice in the 3 hours it took to play through it, which, if nothing else, made the final level feel 3 times more intense than usual. And we cannot talk about this game without bringing up the voice acting. There isn't a lot in it, but it did give us, at least most of us, the debut of Mr. Charles Martinet, and I don't think there's anything one can say about this man's career that hasn't been done so already. A truly legendary voice that caught the imagination of people for generations, and I hope Mr. Martinet enjoys his time as the Nintendo ambassador for Mario. With all that being said, that was Super Mario 64! Still an overall good time, despite some parts aging poorly, and for the record, this was played on a Nintendo 64. Not making the mistake of playing it on the Switch again, and you know what, despite all its flaws, it's still Super Mario 64, and somehow, despite it being the first ever N64 game, it is actually aged better than I thought it would. I mean, think about all the N64 games you played in the past that have aged absolutely dreadfully, and yet somehow the first game right out the gate, Nintendo got it right. God dang, these people are legends. And that's the video, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it. As for next time, it's Mania time! Pokemania, that is. I'll see you all then, and I hope you have a perfect rest of your day.